Now you can see that when we move this, it is transforming both of these bones here. And we want the elbow to be looking at the elbow.L. So you can say pole target, armature, and we can select the elbow.L. So now we can see if we aim this, we can move this and it will always track that bone. Now Alt-R and Alt-G just to clear that, and we'll just do the exact same thing over here. Shift-Control-C, inverse kinematics, chain length of 2, and the pole target is the knee.L. Okay, now this is going the wrong way when we bring it up. So how we're going to fix that is, let's see, we could just play with our pole angle here. And it looks like if we just rotate this 90 degrees, that should fix it. Okay. Now all that remains is to copy everything over onto the other side. So we'll go into edit mode, and if we just press C, we can bring up the selection tool and we can just brush over all of these things on the left hand side. So now with everything selected, we're going to position our cursor right in the center and then press period or full stop just so that we're transforming around this point. And then Shift D to duplicate S, X and -1 just to flip everything over onto that side. And now to automatically rename these all to .R instead of .L, we're going to go into armature and we're just going to say flip names, and you can see these have all renamed nicely for us. Okay, I'm going to quickly turn off the display of names because it's getting rather cluttered, and we can now go ahead and apply this whole armature to the mesh. So if we just select the mesh and then select the armature and say Control P, we'll set its parent to the armature with automatic weights. So what this has done is if just select a bone, anyone, and then select the mesh and Control Tab to go into weight painting mode, you can see here in the object data, it's given a whole bunch of vertex groups, and you can see they're named after the bones. And each of these bones now, if we click through, we can see has been assigned a weight. So red means it controls that area fully, and blue means it doesn't control that area at all. So if you wanted to modify this, if you press T, you can get some options. So we can choose subtract, and maybe you just want to take a bit off the shoulder or something like that. Another more precise way to modify it is just to go into edit mode, and you can select which vertex group you want to modify, and then if you just select a couple of vertices, then you can just say assign, you can choose its weight over there, and now you can see that this upper arm is now affecting the top half of the head, which is rather grotesque. So yeah, we'll definitely undo that. Say remove, and I didn't have the correct thing selected. Remove, and now it's all working nicely again. Okay, I'm just going to press comma so that I'm no longer rotating around the cursor, and I'm just going to go back out to the armature. Now, as you can see, we have got some crazy twisting going on with this arm. So all we have to do is just go into the bone constraints, and we can adjust this pole angle just like we did the leg. And let's see, if we go into edit mode, we can see how it should look, and it looks to me like it is about 100 degrees off. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly correct. And this needs to be maybe about 70. So it doesn't obviously need to be exactly accurate, just so that it's not changing too much between edit mode and pose mode. So now if we look, our armature is actually behaving pretty much how we want it to. You know, we could go in and clean up the weight painting a bit so that it's working a little better, but I've shown you how to do that, so for the purposes of this tutorial I don't think I need to go into that. As you can see, if you go past the this target bone here, it starts to bend crazily to the side. Obviously if you just move this out here, then you can extend its reach. Okay, so as you saw in the introduction, I could make the character crouch just by pulling this bone down here, and the way that we set this up is we want the arms and the legs to follow this bone here. So if we just select all of these and then select this stomach bone last and then say Control P, we can just parent these all to it, and now when we move this down you can see they follow nicely. The last thing that we might want is just a bone that moves the entire character. So just Shift A to add in a bone, press period to rotate around the cursor again, R and -90, just drag this out a little, and we can just call this Control or whatever you want. And now we're going to parent this sort of master bone at the moment to this bone over here. Okay, so now this is this sort of effect, and to move the rest we want to make sure that the IK bones, so just these four here, as well as the target bones, all move with it as well. So we'll select all of those, select this last, Control P and keep offset, and now you can see this just moves the entire character around. If these relationship lines annoy you, like they annoy me, you can press N and just go into your your display options just up here. Just toggle this down and you can see relationship lines can just be ticked off like that. So the last thing that I want to show you is just how to replace some of these shapes with custom shapes. So I'm just going to go into a new layer over here and just add in a circle. Just extrude this a little bit inwards, and I'm also going to add a UV sphere. Okay, now if we go here back to our armature and we just select one of these bones here, we can see that in the bone properties there's an option for a custom shape, and we can just choose sphere here. Let me just replace these all with sphere. And if you want to adjust the size, which in this case we definitely do, we can just scale this in a little bit. Let me just press comma. Just scale it in a bit and then just apply the scale, or just scale it in edit mode. It's essentially the same thing. And for this control bone here, I like to have a circle just around it like that. And the last thing before I end this video is, as you can see, these bones here don't really need to be displayed. They are performing a function in the background, but we will never actually modify these directly. So if you wanted to, you could just go and select all of these, and the feet bone as well actually, and you can just press M and select a bone layer to move it to, and you can see they are now gone. So if you wanted to bring them back for some reason, you can go into the armature panel here, and you can see that we've put them on this layer here, so you can select that layer, and if you want to see both at the same time you can shift select, and then there they all are again. So I hope this video has been beneficial, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you hopefully quite soon. Yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye.